Okay, thank you so much for your time. Today we are talking about the barbarian and the skills that the barbarian has. So, what you can do with the barb is you can definitely get in some people's faces. You know, it's a close the gap kind of class where you dive right in, you smash them up, you pull them towards you, you stun them, you stack damage, you buff your team. The barb is a beast, and we're going to look at some skills. One of my favorite skills so far is it's called lunging strike, and you just jump right to the bastard and clock them. It's so cool. Another skill that I use quite often is steel grasp. Now it doesn't work on the dummies, but what this does every time is that it'll pull the enemies towards you. There are ways to stack multiple charges as well, so you can keep using this thing. It's pretty OP. The barb is one of the only support classes in the game right now. They have a ton of buffs that you can throw out. You can buff your team quite a bit. You can add damage, attack speed, you can reduce damage, you taunt enemies so they're trying to attack you instead of your party members. Again, going back to the grouping, it's a big part of it. So what I like to do with barb is play support barb. And trust me, this dude's a damage dealer. I'm just talking about support skills because I happen to have them on the kit. Something else you can do with barb is the weapon expertise. And this is a really cool system where it's your class mechanic, and the more you use a certain type of weapon, you can benefit from that weapon type. I personally, going back to support, I like to stack the polearm expertise and then stack my lucky hit chance, and I like to manipulate the lucky hit options. I'm sure if I really were to deep dive, I could find some other stuff you can do with it, but just to give you an idea, one of them's lucky hit. This looks like damage to injured enemies, damage to stunned enemies, damage to crowd control. Excuse me, it's you gain fury while hitting crowd controlled enemies. So the idea is there. It's not always just damage. It's like there's a way to stack resource and things like that. Damage to bleeding enemies. So the idea is there. And I mean, really, that's barb in a nutshell. Trying to keep it simple again, where, long story short, you can close the gap, you can buff your team, and you can do a ton of damage. And that's barb. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.